Every second you watch this video, your future savings are quietly disappearing. And no, this isn't about inflation or the stock market. While 15% of Americans still dismiss climate change as a hoax, their bank accounts are already feeling the heat, literally. Forget waiting decades to see the impact. But climate change isn't just melting ice caps, it's melting your money right now. Every wildfire, every flood, every record-breaking heat wave isn't just breaking weather records. According to this report by CNN, record-breaking heat waves, severe floods, and acute wildfires, exacerbated by climate change, carry a colossal price tag and approximately 19% reduction in global income over just the next 26 years. That's not a prediction, it's already in motion. In 2021, a disturbing trend emerged in Florida. Insurance companies started disappearing quietly. But this wasn't just another business story. This was the beginning of something much bigger. To understand how we got here, we need to go back. For centuries, we've built our economies on a simple premise, that tomorrow's weather would look roughly like today's. But in 2024, something changed. Our wealth wasn't just at risk, it was already disappearing. A baby born today will face an additional $125,000 in housing costs alone, not because of inflation, not because of market forces, but because of what's happening to our planet. Let's talk about Florida. Once the Sunshine State, now ground zero for what experts call the Great Climate Exodus. When major insurers started leaving, many thought it was temporary. It wasn't. Today, some homeowners are paying more for insurance than their mortgages. And it's not just Florida. Everywhere you look, the price tag of climate change is skyrocketing. Your food bills? Up by $33,000 over your lifetime. Your work hours? By 2090, we're looking at 2,000 lost labor hours annually. Your favorite vacation spots? Some winter tourism destinations could lose $2 billion in revenue. Before we dive deeper into this financial tsunami, take a moment to subscribe. On Value Nexus, we're not just talking finance or business. We're diving into the pressing issues shaping your life, from the hidden costs of climate change to the untold stories of global policies that impact us all. Each video we create is designed to make you think, to expand your understanding, and to arm you with the knowledge you need in today's world. If you're someone who values insight, who wants to stay ahead of the curve, or simply wants to see the world through a sharper lens, then go ahead, hit that subscribe button. Join us on Value Nexus as we uncover the facts that matter. Because the more you know, the better equipped you are to make smarter choices. Subscribe now to keep learning and stay prepared. We spend hundreds of hours researching these economic trends, business case studies, deep dives, all to increase your knowledge in an entertaining way and also to help you protect your wealth. But here's where things get interesting. While we're all focused on the obvious costs, the floods, the fires, the storms, there's something much more insidious happening. But perhaps the most disturbing trend isn't in your insurance bills or property values. It's on your dinner plate. In 2024, a disturbing pattern emerged in America's heartland. Historic flooding in the Midwest led to a devastating agricultural nightmare. Only 67% of the corn crop was planted by June compared to 96% in previous years. You might have already noticed it at your local grocery store, but what you're seeing now, that's just the beginning. Let's break down what's really happening. Midwest America's breadbasket is projected to lose 25% of its corn and soybean yield. On the other side, extreme rainfall events have increased by 37% since the 1950s, but here's where it gets personal. The child born today will spend an additional $33,000 on food in their lifetime. Not because they're eating better, but because climate change is making food harder to grow. And this isn't just an American problem. Rice fields in Asia to wheat farms in Europe, the same story is playing out globally. When one region faces drought, another faces floods, and another faces unprecedented heat waves. The result? Food system increasingly vulnerable to climate shocks. But here's the reality no one's talking about. This isn't just about global economies or distant futures. It's about your bank account, right now. Let's put this in perspective. Your housing costs climbing, your food budget shrinking, your insurance premiums skyrocketing, your work hours disappearing. Every time there's a flood, every time there's a drought, every time there's a hurricane, you're not just watching a natural disaster, you're watching your wealth evaporate. But here's what makes this crisis different. We can see it coming, and that gives us something we've never had before, a chance to prepare. The math is simple. A 19% reduction in global income by 2049. $125,000 in additional housing costs. $33,000 more on food. Billions in lost wages. But knowledge? Knowledge is power, and right now you have a choice. You can ignore these changes and watch your wealth slowly disappear, or you can prepare, adapt, and protect what you've worked so hard to build. Climate change isn't just an environmental crisis. It's not just a future problem. It's a financial storm that's already here, and it's coming for your wallet. Because in today's world, your future wealth isn't just about what you make. It's about what you protect. If you have reached the end, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. I will provide the source links of all this information in the description below if you want to read more about it.